Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we are venturing into the dungeon. So for all you dungeon crawling fans, this is the deck for you, definitely. Okay, so jokes aside, we are trying venture into the dungeon mechanic on top of like Esper aggressive pile, and I wanted to see if it works. I wanted to see, is this the deck that has chance in the current like ladder and so on and so on, especially with all the aggressive decks that we see every day in our ladder matches, right? We know what we talk about. But generally, I will talk about my impressions in the end of this intro, because first I want to introduce the deck and what exactly was the intention, and then in the end we talk about how it went. I'm not doing the outros, at least for now, so we will just talk it in the end of the intro. So, the card choices and the whole idea of the venturing. So basically we have 7 cards that do this mechanic, because we are not like dedicated that everything with gargoyles is venture into the dungeon. I think this has proven to not work. So we are actually taking some pieces of this deck and putting it into very aggressive like Esper shell, and you can see Kaito and Raffine, so you can exactly see what type of deck we are leaning to. We are a deck that wants to play a lot of small creatures like 2 and 3 drops and just attack every single turn to build value through Kaito and through Raffine. Of course, Raffine making our creatures better and stronger and also like cycling our hand. And Kaito just purely card advantage. So generally you want the Kaito effect as a first one, so you can never stop casting those Obscura Interceptors. So Nadaar is a card that I generally really like. Maybe I like it more than I should, but I feel that for a 3 mana, solid stats, vigilance and ATB effect, which is really important, that even the turn that you play it, you get the scry, or you get like some small minor effect. And if you go for the Lost Mine, which you usually go, like when he attacks next turn, he actually makes a small token of goblin, so you know it's like mini line that has like a follow-up, and even this +1/+1 counter, this actually matters a bit, especially that it's on top of like solid creature. So yeah, it depends also on the matchup, because against angels you don't really want this, because vigilance doesn't matter, because it cannot block, because it has no flying. But we also have Elspeth Resplendent that can create Nadaar or any other creature in the deck, like a super angel. And we have only one, because we also split the 5 drops with Lolth, so we have 2 like strategies, let's say. But I think this really makes like the whole idea behind those creatures a bit stronger. And don't forget, you can buff Nadaar with Raffine and some small synergy. They are both legendary creatures, so Takenuma, Otawara and all the Eganjo lands basically are extremely cheap with this, and it's first of all discount, but usually enemy forgets about this small like thing. So when they block and so on, they don't count a Ganjo for 1 mana, because usually they count 3 or even 2 if they are smart. So some small interactions, sometimes it might come handy. I think Obscura Interceptor is a very big part of this deck. So you basically want to cast especially adventure. So like the point of these venture cards is that they create value every turn, so they usually get removed extremely fast from the enemy. So you don't want them removed, obviously. And if they can stay on the battlefield, like every turn you will get value from Kaito, value from Raffine, and value from venture. So when you combine all those things, this really starts to make a difference. And yeah, as always, we have Meathook Massacres and Vanishing Verse, because you need some removal. We also have March, so as you can see, a lot of exile effect, especially against Underdog. We also have 1 Duress, and if you feel that 1 copy won't make a difference, watch the games and you will see how big difference 1 Duress can make, especially when you have Interceptor. It's actually mini combination, or mini combo, because you can bounce whatever enemy plays that is really scary, and then usually they just replay it next turn, right? No, because you know exactly what they will play and you just duress it. So you can get rid of this small problem permanently, which is pretty huge because you time walk one turn and then you destroy their game plan for the next turn. So that's really disruptive, and we want to be disruptive. Okay, I think for this part we also have Faerie Vandal. It's one interesting addition because it works really well with Raffine and Kaito. Like, you are drawing cards very easily, so you nearly always trigger the +1 counter. As a reminder, it's a flash flying creature that gets 1/1 counter every time you draw your second card each turn. It means also the enemy turn, but usually we just don't trigger. You would have to, I don't know, cast double Obscura Interceptor or something ridiculous like this. We also run one All-Seeing Arbiter, and this card is pretty sweet. Like, I think it's a bit bulky, let's say. It's hard to play, but the fact that moment you play it, you get card advantage is already quite good, and you disable one of the creature, and it has high stats, and it has flying, so it has some things going for it. And of course, double Emeria score. Even with 3 colors, I think that was pretty okay, especially that, don't forget, for the second turn you usually need Oars of Mana, either for the Adventurer or the Vanishing Verse. So yeah, white mana is pretty good here. Okay, I think that's the deck introduction. So if you want to see the games, you can skip, and if you want to see a bit of a spoiler maybe and my impressions after playing this deck, so I think that the Nadaar part is pretty good, and I like the card, and I always felt happy when I was playing it. But man, Triumphant Adventurer, this card has its moments, and indeed, if you play it on turn 2 and attack every single turn, it's good. But first of all, the one attack really doesn't kill the Planewalkers. So even though you have this Death Touch and some small value, sometimes it just doesn't cut it. Like, if you have Planewalker with 2 loyalty and this creature cannot kill it, it can be frustrating. And very often, like, this is minor problem because you still get the value. But my biggest problem is that I kept drawing this card after turn 2. Usually at turn 5 and more. And believe me, that's the last card you want to see in your top deck. So I must say that this one is actually maybe not the greatest one, so maybe a little bit of meme. And for the deck, I think the Esper part with Kaito, Raffine, Obscura and Nadaar work quite nicely. I think that if I changed anything in this deck, it would be the Adventurer. I'm not sure what I would put in the deck. It's probably something that for 2 mana that goes well with Raffine and Kaito. I did like Nadaar, so I think this is the biggest venture card right now, because you can make it work in many situations, and sometimes, you know, I think it's best in the decks that you can use this treasure, because when you get this additional mana and you can cast additional spell, it really helps. And even in the games we've played, you can see in one of the games how big of a difference this treasure can make for the full gameplay. So that's really good to have this kind of effect as a free, like, you know, on top of something, because the creature itself is legit. And yeah, you get the value every turn, so after it enters, if it's not removed, it really helps you every single turn. And I really like the Obscura Interceptors in this deck. This is also the card that I want to use more, and it's interesting, and you can play quite smartly with this. Unfortunately, enemies started to playing around it, so it makes it a bit weaker. Overall, about the results, so I've been playing it with like mid-diamond, and I couldn't get to 50%. I think in 10 games we've played, we won like 4 of them, and we lost 6. I really think like 1 or 2 games were so close, and we were like on the verge of winning it. And also there was some extreme mana screw, and I will include this game, I think, because I want to show you that it happens to everyone, and if you have those games, you can relate. I'm pretty sure, because when I'm watching those games on like YouTube, I can always relate the pain. So I think that there was a very close chance to get it to 50%. So take it or leave it. I think it has some potential, but probably not like the deck that you want to keep laddering with if you really care about wins only. And if you want to care about wins, I probably would go to 4 Nadaar and remove this. I'm not sure, maybe Aspirant, maybe something else, maybe more Vandals, because Vandals have very like high synergy with the deck overall. I'm not sure, but probably this is the first card to go, unfortunately. It was buffed in some formats for a reason. so yeah, that was my impression, and my question to you, do you like this kind of decks? Because I always conflicted, let's say, about putting the decks that might not always win all the games, but I personally like those decks more because I'm a bit tired of playing exactly like all the meta decks over and over. Like, I am enjoying it, but I really like experimenting with maybe not very optimal cards. And I want to like hear from you guys if you enjoy it, if you like decks that don't have 50% win rate in Diamond and Mythic, or do you accept decks that go slightly below this? Of course, we are not talking about like 20% win rate, because that's a bad deck pretty much, but you know, not exactly competitive, but nearly there. So I think that's it. That was really long intro, so thank you for anyone that stayed until right now. I really appreciate you and your attention. And as always, subscribe if you like the channel, it really helps, and I don't think I want to make it any longer, so thank you again, and let's go into the games. We are going first with a very good hand. This is actually a really good hand. So I'm really hopeful. Let's not screw the mana, so what exactly? So this is white, then this is black, and this is blue, and we can cast everything. I like the start quite a lot. The only thing I would change is maybe play Adventurer on the turn 2, but other than this, we are golden. Unfortunately, no blitz for us. And we are against Mono White, the deck that is not as popular lately. Meathook. Yes, please. Definitely yes, please. So they retreat it, right? They will trade it. But if that's the case, I'm okay. Because they probably also want to grow the initiate. And right now we cast this one that blocks perfectly both of the creatures from the enemy, and I think we get this, like the goblin and the ++1 counter might matter. Man, this is way too early. That's not the card. Man, like this Scry 1 really helps usually. It nearly always saves us the draw. Okay, we just want the land from the top and we are nearly done with everything. You know what? It's also not the worst. So I think we don't attack with Tenacious Underdog and try to stabilize situation. And we definitely want the treasure token this game because of the Meathook. And we aren't guaranteed to draw land. And I really want to kill the initiate. It won't grow right now. Man, like enemies giving us like the most godly sweeper. I just want to have a land from the top that we got from the Scry. So we can show like the full potential. Interesting. Is enemy really playing around Meathook Massacre? Okay, question. Do we play it right now? Like, it seems really good overall. I think it's good. They take it. Man, this treasure. If not the treasure, we wouldn't be able to make this play at all. It's not perfect. It's legendary, so we only get one. But in the end, we have a very good creature. And we can get stuff. This one life should not matter. And Venture! Man, we defeated Mono White with Venture. If that's not impressive, I don't know what it is. But man, like Nadaar is actually a legit card, I think. Like it really does a lot. And you can see how enemy is scared of it. Okay, so at first sight it's horrible hand. On second one it's pretty bad hand. But I think we keep it, because we have Vanishing Verse, so maybe we can make sure that Kaito enters on the relatively empty board. At least that's how I explain it to myself for keeping this hand. That seems awful. that's the idea, at least. Okay, that's a good Vanishing Verse target, okay. Man, I'm actually enjoying what I see here. Okay, so we want to go into Esper mana, this will be blue. We don't want them to deadly dispute, so let's do it right now. Bye! No underdogs for you, my friend. For the Eye Twitch, I'm not sure if we do it or not. It's probably Kaito. March is the biggest damage, but they would have to exile a card to do it. And they are already at 4 cards. We could also go for Raffine and start drawing cards from the next turn. You know what? It doesn't sound bad. Especially we have double Raffine, so if one dies, like, you know, we can live with this. I guess the biggest punish would be Infernal Grasp at the end step, and that would be pretty horrible for us. But it's good that we didn't think about it, because it didn't happen, so it has to be good play, right? I like those sleeves. Man, I need to start using them. And finally, our creature. Okay, let's start. I think we let him get the lesson. First of all, let's attack, and maybe he will deadly dispute it. There is a high chance for deadly dispute. Risky, but we have Nadaar, and I definitely want Nadaar because we are a Venture deck. Okay. Is that a deadly dispute or just a lesson? Okay, so what he will take? I would go for the Noxious Fumes. Okay, so maybe he's low on lands. This definitely means... Man, I'm so tempted to play this, but let's be honest, drawing cards every single turn, and I don't think he can remove Kaito easily. It's just too good. We need to do it. We have to. Man, Kaito is such a good card. I'm not into like paper version, but I think it's extremely expensive. Like, well, maybe not extremely, but if I recall, it was like between 20 and 30 bucks for this card, for the normal version, and I'm not surprised because Kaito is a monster right now. It will win you so many games on its own, and this is possibly one of them. Okay, let's go with the Tapland so we can get rid of it. And Takenuma, definitely something that can be useful, and don't forget, it gets cheaper for legendary creatures, and Raffine is legendary creature, and so is Nadaar. So when we play this, we actually can cast it for 2 mana only, which is huge, because that's actually on curve next turn. Yeah, but I guess we need to lose Kaito. Enemy is thinking so long. I wonder if he has something to think about. I think he has Black March, and I think that this whole tanking was, should I exile cards to get rid of Kaito? Because he needs to exile at least 1 card. Okay? I don't mind it at all. I do not mind it. Okay, what exactly are we doing? The very good trick with this is attacking the Lolth, because they want to defend her, and if you show them that you can remove them, that you can remove the Lolth, they don't have to block and then go for Kaito, for example. So that is very nice, small trick, and let's just use it right now. We could also like kill the creatures, but it's more card efficient to just kill Lolth. And this grows, which is relevant. 4 mana. I think we discard Tower and not grow it. They cannot kill it, and they still cannot have to block Lolth for Lolth. Yeah, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. So I think it's enough. Man, sometimes with Connive I have such a big problem of discarding land. Okay, one down. So Kaito will leave unless he activates the Hive, which is pretty sweet.
We will slay.
Okay, and what is the play? We can Vanishing Verse it, and then we can play Nadaar. But why should we think about it if we can draw more cards?
Thanks.
Easy.
I'll be taking
I think it's Nadaar. Let's go mana efficiency first. Enemies completely tap out. Also, in case they Blood on the Snow, they cannot take Lolth back. So I think that was overall a much better play. And finally, we got to the point. We got to the freaking point. We can kill the spider if we want. Which actually can save Kaito. You know what? I think we will do it. Oh, but we need the second. Oh, that's so sad. Let's go for Scry. And make sure that our next draw is pretty... Okay, yes. Yes, please. I will gladly get another Kaito. I think they might tap out completely, attack everything so they get rid of Kaito. And then we do it again with phasing out, so they cannot even kill it next turn. So they might even scoop. And Kaito is such good defender. Like, it can defend it so well. Like, I really like the idea behind the Planewalker. That was like really cool from the Wizards. So now he will be freaking tanking, because he has no fear except Kaito and Adventure. Man, I really like this card. The fact that it has ATB, 3-3, Vigilance, which actually makes a big difference, especially if you have on the attack effect. See? Easy. He will attack Kaito, and then we will replay Kaito, and our creatures will be bigger and bigger, which is really sweet. What did he take? Raffine. Smart choice. Smart choice. Let's start with some venture action. So do we want... This isn't attacking, right? This is just a goblin. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't really matter. And what we grow? I think it's not there. How much mana? Enemy can... Oh, enemy can hook for 5. So actually let's go for Raffine. And here. Do we want the treasure token? Not really. I want my goblin. I deserve a little goblin for all our efforts. Wandering Emperor is good. Unfortunately it has to be this. Sorry, Nadaar. You are already in the game, so, you know, there can be only one. Okay. Definitely I like drawing cards. So let's draw some. Man, an enemy will have like trauma after this game for Kaito. So do we play black? Yeah, we play black. How scary is this spider? They cannot kill Kaito, they can only attack our face and we don't care. So honestly, I don't think we do it, because this is phased out, so he cannot kill it again until next turn. And he might cast Roll for something like this, and we don't have other answer right now. So that's my thinking. It's about Lolth right now. See? Easy. Always Lolth. And that's fine. We were prepared. But the spiders are real. Like, we have board of spiders. Okay? So what do we get? We can get either Kaito or Nadaar. And I'm not sure what we lose first. I will definitely cast it. And then think what exactly I want to do. Oh man, that's actually pretty good. I wish we had one more mana, I would just take the Vandal. I honestly think it might be Tenacious Underdog. But, well, we don't need it in the hand, right? We can pay life. So you know what? Enemy seems to not like Kaito. I think that means that we like it. So I think, as always, let's bait him into blocking. And what do we get? Counter! Sweet! I do enjoy my counters. Whatever. Now let's pump Nadaar. Yeah, I do like my counters. So enemy has 5, 6. So let's put on Raffine, so it's always one step above. Oh man, and we definitely have some Raffines going. Kaito. Man, I think second Raffine is a bit not needed. And we have 6/6 Nadaar, which is no joke. And right now, thanks to the connive, we also have interceptor. Yep, and that's what I thought. Unfortunately, it means that Lolth will stay on board. I'm not sure how much we care. Because I would really like my counter spell. You know what? Let's draw cards. I heard they are good. Oh! Now this is a juicy secret. Indeed, Kaito. You're right. I think we just get rid of the Lolth, because then they need to answer 2 huge creatures and Kaito, and I'm not sure if they can. Man, 2 more mana. But that's actually quite a lot. So let's be real. So I think it might be Blood on the Snow, which is their best play. And they have the third Lolth in top 15 cards. Sure, why not? But the question is, how much does it really help you? What is the one? Oh, we draw more cards. I do enjoy drawing cards, my friend. So right now, it will kill Lolth if she wants to make new spiders. Yeah, we connive, because why not? It seems that we will be doing this for the rest of the game. At this rate. And we will draw a card. Actually, I should venture first. So I think I did it, but that was a mistake. I should do it consciously. Because then we might draw something that we actually want to discard. Okay, that's pretty good. So 5/8. As always, 6/7. So we are out of reach already. I think we want one round. So maybe get rid of the Raffine's tower. Yeah, our mana is fine. And we don't need bigger creatures. So let's do it like this. And right now we hold Interceptor. Yep. We can think about the next dungeon that we want to complete. And this card is actually quite sweet. Okay. Do we want to bounce it? Then they cannot really play it. They have to kill Lolth in order to get it. This seems like a good play, to be honest. If they have Blood on the Snow, they cannot do it twice. If they Meathook, they need a huge Meathook. Okay, so I will allow it. I will allow it. Having full control over this game, we can choose. But jokes aside, I think that in those kind of situations you prefer to go... Man, I think... Do we go for this? I really think we just go for the one ninja token. I will explain why in a second. Let's go for black. Because I think we can connive so hard on the ninja that we can just get rid of the future Lolths in case he can protect her for the next turn. And he has Hive, so it's not as hard as usually. He can actually activate both Hives at the same time. So even on board he would be able to defend Lolth with no spiders. Oh, what a surprise. It would be super sweet if someone knew about it. I'm not sure if we can kill him next turn, so that's definitely something I need to consider. So we discard Kaito because we need power. We need as much power as possible because we really want to kill the enemy next turn. And we will use Bloodchief first on one of the spiders. Yep, he's forced to use it right now. Tenacious Underdog. Okay, that's more than I expected. So he wants to survive. And I cannot blame him. Let's cycle. Maybe we get some juicy removal. Oh ho ho ho! If you ever thought, why do we have one Duress? Oh man, this will be devastating for him. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So how do we do it? Let's see if we don't miss Leafar. So he can block this, and this, right? So we don't really do damage. If we kill the underdog... Yeah, I think we kill the underdog. That's the first play. I don't think the second card is Blood on the Snow. If we play like this, we don't have enough black, even though we had so many lands on black. So that's something to consider. Same goes for the Tenacious Underdog, so I guess it has to be the Emperor. So, let's make a very big attack. Let's start with Nadaar. And what do we... He wants to block this and this. This has lifelink, this is unblockable, and the least favorite target for him. You know what? Let's get some damage. Easy, 1 damage. Wow, 4 lands from the top. That's definitely not what I expected. And I want different cards, not lands. You know what? Let's discard all of them. And Otawara is not bad. It's only 2 mana, so I actually will play it right now. This removes one of the creatures. So that's pretty sweet. Man, like the channel lands with Raffine and Nadaar are so incredibly cheap. Like if we had a Gandra, it would be 1 white mana. So that's really good. Enemy doesn't know what's going to happen in a second. So yeah, I'm not envying him. Man, his whole game plan is this Blood on the Snow. So the only problem is that he might have 2 of them, and then we get wrecked. And we are super unhappy about the outcome of the future turn, because enemy will have again Lolth against spiders, and we will have nothing except Kaito and those 3 cards. So I really hope this one is not Blood on the Snow, but I think he played like he didn't have it before, so it's probably top deck. I guess he will be roping. Man, ropers are lately so often. Okay, I will cut. And as I cut, of course he activates. So he blocked Raffine. Enemy is at 2. It means that we missed a Leafar, right? But we didn't know what we connive. Man, I have strong feeling that we missed Leafar on 10 different ways. So, yeah, be gentle with me. Oh, can you feel the pain? Oh man, I do. As a control player, I definitely do. So we wait with this on reload. No reason to go, and I think this sound just broke. At least partially. Yep, that was it. Man, Duress. Duress won this game. And Nadaar. Like, I think Nadaar was really helpful this game. Look at this. Of course, Raffine the big star, but Nadaar was really the second part of the equation. Okay, so that's a strange hand. Like, we are on the draw, and until turn 3, we probably will draw something. And other than this, like, we have 1 mana removal, 2 mana removal. So I think there's potential. But if we miss on the land, then there is no potential. And we have very flexible mana. Please don't do this to me. Please don't. Let's go on white. So we can cast Vanishing Verse and cast Nadaar. I think blue... Man, we actually missed it. We actually did miss it. So this is the Goldspan Storm deck. So let's get rid of this. Probably Raffine double Raffine won't be. I think we just lost, to be frank. I'm pretty sure we are completely out of this game after missing the land. And enemy is on the play, so it will just get better for him. Okay, that's interesting play. Not sure how I feel about it, but I think it's good for us, but it's still not relevant because we are so behind. Like, if we don't hit land right now, I think I just concede because it has no sense. They will cast Goldspan Dragon next turn. And they will kill us. That was amazing, good game. So I really enjoyed this experience. So I might even leave this game just for every one of you that has those kinds of games and feels, do I do something wrong? Probably you don't. Okay, so we are going first, so that's a very good part. I guess we have all the mana. You know what, let's keep it, but I would really like my venture cards, especially like 3-drop. But you know what? We will try. We will try to make it work. We can also go for Raffine, it might also be quite a good play. Then we play Kaito next turn. So you know, we have some options. Yep, that was quick. Let's at least pretend, but I think this train is gone. And enemy is not slacking. Wow. Wow. That's some timing. You ain't no triumphant, you adventurer. Okay. So let's go with the blue. We have the Esper mana. So I guess the next turn might be Obnexlis, right? Raffine is not the worst. If they play another Harvester, they might pay the ward. And then we are, I guess, in trouble. You know what? If we play Kaito, we make the token. But they will kill the token, right? Okay. I think Raffine is best. Like, it's all around strong card. And I think we should start playing a bit around Obnixlis. And they have Chariot in the deck. So they can copy it. Okay, so is this the voltage? Yeah, they don't want to sacrifice the bad token. Okay, if you baited, you baited me. So I think they have voltage and they don't want to get rid of this. Okay, I think they have voltage still. That's why the attack was. So then they don't need to pay the artifact, and artifact is quite important in this kind of deck. And you know what? This is a good play. Because we can clear the board, and suddenly we have the initiative, because we have Planewalker. And they need to pay at least this one card, and we go to 4-1 anyway. And we break their turn in half. So usually in those situations, even if enemy can remove something, you destroy their game plan. They want Chariot right now. They want to play Chariot with cats. Which will be a problem. Oh, or even better. Even freaking better. This has Death Touch, but this has First Strike. So we will take quite a while. Oh, it has First Strike during our turn. I wish it had First Strike all the time. Such a big difference. Okay, so they definitely need to play something else or activate the Hive. So I think we just go like this. And I guess we go like this. No, let's not put the counter. This is risky. Like, this is very telegraphed play. Like, it's pretty obvious that we have something to play for 4 mana. So it's either Emperor or Interceptor. They know it's one of the two. But they need to play something. They might activate the Hive, put the counters there, and then we are in trouble. Oh man, that's pretty smart. So they just want this small creature. Okay, I think we just do it. Enemy won't give us better play. He's really smart because he's playing exactly around Interceptor. Something cheap, but strong enough that we need to play it. Okay, let's get rid of the meme. as it turns on turn 3. Like Triumphant Adventurer. But enemy can still replay it, and that's a problem. But we have a big creature in the board with lifelink, so there's that. And we can always chum block Halama and Alina. Does it give... No, Omni Haste. Okay, that is very interesting play, because we can use -2 to exile Halana. So they really want to get rid of Interceptor. They don't have... So I think we do it. It seems like such an obvious bait. Like they have something that protects the creature, but you know what? If they have it, they are good and they deserve it. And they did it. That's really cool.
You are not much of a roadblock.
They might have Meathook, right? But do they want to play Meathook just for one card?
I won't let Kamigawa fail
And
my
what's
film.
better, we will just cycle with Kaito. We don't need creature. And let's turn this land into a more useful land, let's say. We phase out, so we have Kaito for the future turns. And when this gets removed, we can then make a ninja. And then Meathook is never good. So, of course, it's good, but it's not always good. They might have the Hive, but remember, Adventurer has First Strike and Death Touch. So if they block, they are in for surprise, and we also have those things. Okay, that's a Blitz big creature. So this dies anyway, right? Okay, I take it like a champ. Because this will die at the end step, so you don't really gain anything by killing it. Wow, that's a pretty perfect top deck. Must be nice. Okay. But you know what? We have stuff. And I think we play this because enemy is tapped out, so if he wants to address it... Wow. More lands. Okay. We will discard this one. And I think we make a token, because it makes it awkward. They might have Meathook and like solve everything, so that will be a problem, I guess. But I wanted something more on the board, because they might not have it. Okay, that's Infernal Grasp. And Moonwave. Okay. So what is the plan here? We can go Wandering Emperor to exile this. I don't think he will discard the hand. At least not with the first spell. So I think we play Raffine. Yeah. Let's play Raffine and see what we draw. Then we attack with the Unblockable Ninja. That's super good. Oh, and that definitely changed our play. So this is when you cast. So even if you counter, he may still discard it. And then I think the card goes back after. No, our triggers first. Okay, whatever. When it dies, deals damage to a target. I think we have to do it like... Man, we need the land, right? So we need to decide whether it's Emperor or an Obscura Interceptor. What is his play? I think it's the Emperor. I hate to discard the Interceptor, honestly. But I do think that's correct. First of all, let's draw. Maybe we draw something like a tap land. Oh man, I would love not to play this. But what can you really do, right? That's very fishy for mana. So I hope he attacks with the Regent, and then we don't give him any benefit. He sees the something, which is not great. I try to click this fast, but I'm not good at it. I always do it a bit too slow. Oh, and he will be smart or not? Oh, nice. Nice. So we get the block. Our graveyard doesn't really matter. So we get rid of the Regent, right? Then he cannot discard. Hive is problem, but not the biggest one. Let's do it now. Can you show me my Emperor? And I'm scared more about the region because it draws cards and deals damage. So it's really problematic overall. And we have Raffine and Ninja, and they are no joke. Like, it's 5 damage, possibly 6 with the Emperor, so it can be like nearly 2-turn croc. So nothing to scoff on. Okay, you got the treasure. And a blocker. See? Easy magic. And I feel bad about after this. We could make a samurai, but I think it's still better to do it like this. This has ward. What is the removal? I think this is better because then they cannot surge it.
Strike fast and strike
So
hard.
that's pretty good. Let's smork. Yeah, let's make it big. Okay, okay. You know what? This has some potential. So I think it's Emeria score, right? If they meet hook, how much they can pay? 3, 6, or 7. So we cannot make it bigger. Really. Oh man, that's hard. We could go for Kaito. Maybe Kaito is better call. Okay, I think actually we should just Kaito. So we keep the Emeria score, and this turn it's Kaito and drawing cards. So not as much damage, but more annoying because enemy doesn't have a great board to counter it. Okay, and we got a payoff already. That's really nice. This phases out, so he cannot kill it. If he attacks Emperor with the Hive, he has only 3 mana, and we will just Emperor it, I think. Okay, that was interesting game. I kinda like it. I'm still mad for the Adventurer. He had such a great place to shine, and he didn't. Yet, guys, this is happening. Black, white, blue, and on curve, and we are on the play. This is the game. Oh man, I'm so excited. We actually will play everything we have in the hand. And I don't care what we play against. I just don't want to mess it up, as I'm too excited for this. So Triumphant Adventurer, and we will even buff it with Raffine. And you will see that Adventurer is much better if you have more stuff. Is this a freaking Doomscar? Are you serious that it is Doomscar? Man, so then Kaito would be better. First of all, let's attack and see what's up. Huh. I don't think we have too many ventures, so let's go for the short one. With the Scry, and Scry Interceptor. I do like Interceptors, and we have mana for it. So for that reason alone, let's go for blue. And Kaito, he's tapped out. Man, I'm not sure. It might not be a Doomscar, but I don't want to risk going all in. Especially that Kaito might even, like with this case, without Doomscar, be still better play. Okay, sure. And, okay, for this situation, you do play land. This is black for Meathook. Yeah, I think it is. Because they cannot answer the land. And right now, whatever they do, you can just interceptor it. Which is pretty huge. Man, Interceptor is such a sweet card. I'm not exactly sure what we are playing against, to be perfectly honest. So they have double white. I think it might be a Doomscar. And let's go into the dungeon. Man, this actually is such a big difference that we have 2 creatures instead of 1. Right now he needs to kill both for 3 mana. Or maybe 4 during his turn. So I think it might make him go for the Doomscar, which is amazing for us. Let's draw. More Interceptors, please. By the way, this hand would be pretty crap on the draw. But thanks to this that we are on the play, we are just freaking doing it. enemy is thinking so much, he needs to have something. I'm not sure what is this. I don't think it's like a fading hope or something. Interesting sleeves. Oh man, I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted, but you know how I play, so I'm probably the last person that could do it. So maybe let's don't. Okay, this enter battlefields, okay. So, that was the turn. And let's let enemy prove his worth in this matchup. Gabby Sharon. What is your play? What is this 2 mana instant that you have and you care so much? Doomskar. No? Huh? Okay, I will just keep drawing cards and venturing if that's the play. I really don't mind. Ah? What about now? Generally you don't want to cast Interceptor during your turn, so you take more than you want if enemy casts something on your main phase. Definitely this is better when you cast it as a counter to their main play for the turn. Because then they are like left with nothing and you have a very threatening creature. Man, how much you can think doing nothing. You didn't play a card this whole game. This is a player that actually did not play a single card until now. So I think this is the time to stop thinking. Oh man, I think I will cut, right? Okay, they did rope out. So I guess we get our attack somehow. Venture. I would really want a counter on my crazy attacking goblin. And we put the counter here, because the adventurer is the prime target anyway. So let's make sure that they kill the goblin. I nearly forgot to draw with Kaito. And we have more Kaito, because why not? Sure, I will take all the Kaitos. Can enemy play a card? They are still here, they are actually playing. I don't know what's going on, maybe they needed to wash the dishes. Easy. Easy prediction. But they have something. They might have maybe Juari or something. Do they play around the Interceptor? I guess they did not. And with Doomskar it's painful. It's really painful, because it goes back to your hand. It means that you need to foretell it again or pay the full 5 mana cost. And that's not what you want after you paid 2 mana already and then paid 3 mana already. And you need to do it again. So that's pretty disastrous. Man, the ropers lately have been like my biggest concern. Like, how much can we take? And we're back after the full rope. Man, I actually just realized that this roping might be because we are actually killing them with, venture. So maybe that's the reason. I get that it might be a bit annoying if you made a deck and in the end you get destroyed by the venture card. So I might think about some reasoning. Why is it happening to us? And again, and another full rope, cause why not? And we draw a card, so that feels like a win already. Okay, let's attack. And you know what? I think that the best play right now, after making... Yeah, we will make a ninja. We have enough cards in the hand. We just want more pressure. So we play this for 0. After making sure that we have 1 black to play the Interceptor. And suddenly, even if the enemy sweeps the board, he's at 4. Because, like, he is playing. He's just playing extremely slowly and with intervals of 20 and 30 seconds. So let's cut. And that was it. He roped out. I think he played until the Doomscar, and then he realized that it's over, but like, I don't know. I don't know. But we won, and that was through Venture.